Today is April the 28th. April the 28th, it's Tuesday, right? For PIN227 section 2. So most of you should have finished the writing quiz by now. And before moving on to our next topic, some of the things that I would think that so far you are familiar with are, for example, the description of the different vowel sounds, the comparison between two or more sounds. For example, if you were asked to compare, for example, the sound represented by symbol u, u, right? And for example, a, u as in blue, and a as in cat. So in which way would you compare them? You are going to be talking about the quality of each vowel, right? In terms of some of the criteria. I want you to practice that. I want you to be able to compare using technical terms. So you can talk about the backness or the position of the tongue, the height of each sound, the lip rounding, the tenseness or tension of lips when you're producing each of the sounds, and also the length. Okay, that's something that you need to be very, very skillful so far, considering that we have been covering each individual sound one at a time. Okay. Now let's see if some of you are able to go over them. How do you feel about comparing these two sounds? For instance, oo and a. In terms of backness or position of the tongue, this is way back, right? And this is front, right? Your tongue is closer to the teeth. It's way forward, and oo, your tongue goes back. In terms of height, when you say oo, your tongue is closer to the roof, right, of the mouth. And your tongue is closer to the bottom of the oral cavity. In terms of length, oo, the first one is longer than the second one. In terms of lip rounding, when you produce oo, your lips are shaped as a circle, right? Oo. Whereas when you produce your lips are unrounded. And then in terms of tension of lips, they are lax actually when you produce which is a short sound, and they are tense when you produce oo, when the lips are protruding and producing this long and tense sound. Okay, that's the idea. If we might have a quiz, or you can have a question like this in a test. For example, in a speaking test, the question would be something like this. Compare, for example, the sound A as in bar and E as in deed. Describe the vowel quality of each of these two monophthongs. Okay, and then basically you know what to use in order to describe each individual sound. Okay, that's something that I want you to work with. The comparison of two individual sounds. Okay, let me show you another thing. So far, I'm never sure if I'm sharing with you the desktop or not. I think I am now. So thank you so much For example, you should be able to count the phonemes, but specifically the vowel sounds, because when we talk about phonemes, we talk about sounds in general, right? We're talking about monophthongs, individual sounds, right? Diphthongs, a combination of two. We're talking about triphthongs. We're talking about consonant sounds. Phonemes are all sounds in general, but so far we should be able to count the monophthongs, right? For example, in the word interchange, you should be able to tell which are these monophthongs and how many of them are present. Okay, for example, interchange, interchange, interchange. How many monophthongs? You should be able to tell that this is a monophthong, this is a monophthong, and A, it's a combination of two, A, which is a diphthong that we will see in the next minutes. So these are the two monophthongs here. Okay, this is a diphthong, which also counts as one sound unit, but it's a diphthong. Diphthong, the combination of two sounds, one sound glided into the other. And then dictionary. Let me show you the transcription here. Okay, maybe it should be easier for identifying the monophthongs. So inter would be would be the two monophthongs, right? In the word dictionary, we have e, e. Dictionary, we have four monophthongs, right? In the word pronunciation, we have a, e, Those are the four monophthongs. This one is a diphthong, right? And the word population, we have three monophthongs. Okay, three monophthongs, because this is a diphthong, A. And the word television, we have one monophthong, another one, a third one, and a fourth one. So in the word television, the way it is transcribed here, we have four monophthongs. Electricity contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 monophthongs. Okay, the word vocabulary contains 1, 2, 3, and 4 monophthongs. This one is a diphthong, O, as we will see in a few minutes. And finally, the word university contains one monophthong, a second one, another one more, and the last one. So this word university contains 5 monophthongs. Okay. In the word interchange, we have 2 monophthongs. Which one of them is front? Which one of them is central? Which one of them is back? So you should be able to tell that the first one is a front, or more frontal than the schwa, right? And this is central, right? How many of these? How many phonemes? How many monophthongs in the word interchange are high, are mid, or low? So you should tell that E is high, or higher at least, than the schwa, which is a mid vowel sound. Okay, and in this word interchange, which monophthongs or monophthong is tense or lax? What do you think?
Lack, both of them.
Perfect. Both of them are lax. Exactly. Both of them are lax. So far you should know all the properties or all the characteristics or features of the 12 monophthongs that we have been discussing in previous classes. Okay? That's something you need to consider. And also compare them and contrast them to see which are the similarities and which are the differences among all the 12 monophthongs. Now, the idea now is to move on to the next topic, which is not monophthongs but diphthongs. Okay, so I'm going to share again the presentation. Yes, right there. And I'm going to ask, let's see, how, participants. Paulina, are you there? Is your microphone working? Paulina Alegria?
Yes.
Okay, Paulina, could you read this paragraph, this passage, please?
The most important feature of the diphthong is that it contains a glide from one vowel quality to another one.
Thank you so much. Matias Rivera, is your microphone working? Could you read the next one, please?
Yeah. BBC English contains a large number of diphthongs.
Mm-hmm.
There are 3 endings. E, A, I, C. 2 endings in I'm sorry.
That's right.
2 ending in the U.
U. U.
U.
Mm-hmm.
3 ending in the E. I don't remember how that sounds.
Relax your mouth as a mid-central lax short vowel sound, so you say Okay. Exactly.
Ending in
So you exactly, and then you read the parentheses.
Okay.
Ear.
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 Ue.
Exactly. Wonderful. Very, very, very well done. And we have another a paragraph, another passage. Thais, could you handle the next passage, please? Thais, is your microphone working?
Yes.
Okay.
What part is
The next one.
opinions differ?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Opinions differ as to whether these should be treated as phonemes in their
Phonemes, yes.
own right or as combination of two phonemes.
Exactly, exactly. First, it's very important to remember that the pronunciation of this one includes the first syllable as the stress syllable. Okay, so you say phonemes, right? Phonemes.
Okay.
Exactly. Phonemes. Exactly. Phonemes. So some people, some phoneticians, consider that diphthongs is basically a combination of two phonemes. So we should treat them as two sounds, two vowel sounds, right? And other phoneticians, right, or linguists consider that diphthongs should be considered only one single sound unit. Okay, we're not going to fall into the discussion whether they are two sounds or one sound. We're just going to consider them as one single sound unit. Okay, so whenever we count a diphthong, we're going to consider that one sound. Okay, for example, when we say play, play, a, 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 as the one that Matthias read, right? A, play. Um, the word play contains the sounds or phonemes p, l, a. Okay, so we're going to count these phonemes as 3: p, l, and the diphthong a that we will consider one single unit. Okay, the same for example, the word buy, buy, which contains the second diphthong. So we say b, I. Okay, so I will be considered one sound unit. Okay, the diphthong will be counted as one. The same with the rest, right? Toy, etc., etc. Okay, but we have to remember that not everyone thinks exactly the same. So some people believe that they should be treated as a combination of two individual sounds. The point is, the important feature of a diphthong is that there is a glide. There is a glide, meaning if you remember the vowel quadrilateral, and you remember the positions, right? The position of the individual monophthongs. You remember, for example, that A was approximately here, right? A was at the bottom, O was over here, okay? And E, the short E was over here, right? So the idea is that in the production of a diphthong, you start in one place and then you move to another. You glide from one place into the other when you are producing a sound. When you say play, you produce a. Your tongue, it starts in one place, a, and glides to the next one. Okay, we will see this in a image, in a picture, in an image that I want to show you to show you actually the gliding process. Gabriela, is your microphone on? Can you read the next passage, please? It starts with a diphthong. Gabriela Gatica, are you there? Constanza Soto, are you there? Constanza.soto.01.
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you. Can you read the next passage, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
A diphthong, also known as a gliding vowel, is a combination of two adjacent vowel sounds within the same syllable. Technically, a diphthong is a vowel with two different targets. That is, the tongue moves during the pronunciation of the vowel.
All right, excellent. Excellent, thank you so much. Remember also, okay? Also, gliding, okay? Gliding, and targets. This is a very interesting word. You can separate it, right? If you don't remember, you can separate it in targ, and then how do you pronounce this one? The second part.
Get.
Exactly. So you say target, okay? Target.
Yes.
It's a very, very difficult word. And here you are. You have the diphthongs. Take a look at them, please. Okay, so we will look at the closing grip. Any idea why we're talking about the closing grip? Closing grip? Any idea? No idea? We're talking about the closing grip. Nope. Okay. So when we talk about the closing grip, we're talking about diphthongs which are considered closed, or they are produced when your mouth closing. Let me show you the examples here. Maybe. Okay. This is when we're talking about closed grip. We're referring to diphthongs A, or I, O, and OW. Okay. A. These are the closing, because if you look at the first grip, they go from E, O, and A, and they go up to the I sound, I, right? Which is a vowel which is half closed. If you if you remember, the vowel quadrilateral represents the mouth or the oral cavity, and over here would be the section considered of closed vowel sounds, and this one should be considered like the vowel sounds. And over here we can talk about half open, half open, and this section half close. Okay, because when you say e, if you remember, long e, your mouth is almost not closed, of course, because you wouldn't be able to produce the sound, but it's almost closed as compared when you say, for example, ah, 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 your mouth is more open. Okay, so that's why in the production of A, we start from A, and we move to E. And the word that in which you can find the diphthong are, for example, pay, made, which is how do you call these two words that sound exactly the same? Made and made.
Minimal pair.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that because the sound was not working quite well for me, at least.
Pair.
Good. Yes and no.
Oh.
Almost exactly. Exactly. A minimal pair.
Homophones or no?
Exactly. Homophones.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Homophones.
Homophones. Homophones is the technical word. Exactly. For homophones, well, you separate the word homo, which means equal, and phone, which is sound. So sound equal, sound the same. Okay, so made and mate sound exactly the same, and but the spelling is different, right? So you have these homophones, which are words that sound exactly the same, even though they
Guys, it is my internet.
Hello,
Hello.
I'm back. All right. Sorry about the interruption. So, how are you doing meanwhile? We still have 15 participants. All right. So what I'm sharing now with you is the PowerPoint slide. I hope you're looking at it. And we were discussing the two concepts, homophones, which means sound the same. We were reviewing two examples, made and made. And then my question was, do you know any other homophones? No? No more homophones?
It's hard to find homophones in English
Yeah.
because I mean, you always think in
Meat
Spanish.
and meat.
Perfect. Meat and?
Meat.
Meat. Wonderful. Meat and meat. Different spelling, but they sound exactly the same. Wonderful. Meat and meat. If you remember any other homophones, let us know, right? And minimal pairs, gosh, but I'm not very skillful with with the mouse pad. So when we're talking about the minimal pairs, does anyone have an idea? So because gosh, I feel I'm talking forever. For example, when you consider two words, these words contain almost exactly the same. I mean, they contain exactly the same number of phonemes. S, I, T, S, E, T. Okay, 3 phonemes. One consonant sound at the beginning, which is S, one final consonant sound, which and only one phoneme, which is different. And if we use E, or if we use E, the meaning of the word changes. We are actually seeing 2 different phonemes, and this is a set of minimal pairs, a group of 2 words which only contain 1 phoneme different. It could be at the beginning or at the end. For example, if you see this one, sit and pit, sit and pit, they are also 2 minimal pairs, being the only different phoneme, the one at the very beginning. Okay, so it's not the same. We're talking about homophones, 2 words that sound the same but have different spelling, and 2 words which contain only 1 phoneme which is different. Okay, so that's something to remember. So we have pay, made, rain, obey. Okay, those are words which contain the diphthong a, which start here and glides towards e. Okay, some examples that you can read with me, so I'm not feeling so lonely here, are late, make. Let me get the other thing. Okay, ready? And late,
Late.
make,
Make.
Make,
Make.
able,
Wonderful.
stable,
Stable.
Excellent.
aim,
Aim.
wait,
Wait.
Wait.
lay,
Lay.
say,
Day.
day,
Come on, go on.
wait,
Wait.
day,
Day.
Break.
break, break,
Break. Go on.
Lay.
Eight, break.
Good. Finally. You sounded like you reminded of first graders when they are greeting the teacher, right? You know, they say, Buenos dias, señor. Okay, good. Next slide. We have the diphthong I. I, okay, as when you say I, the pronoun I, my, the possessive adjective, tie, sigh, either. Careful with this one. It could be I or either, right? Depending on the accent or the dialect in this case. I, and then thigh. Any comments? How do you call these ones?
I didn't get the ether. Ether.
Okay. Either. Either.
Either.
Either.
Either. All right. Thank you.
Exactly. So
All
not always, but in general terms, people in the United States, or people or standard English in the United States, general American would say either, and in received pronunciation, probably they would say either. Okay, so when they say I, usually they don't pronounce the final so they say either. Which one would you like, coffee or tea? Either, doesn't matter. Either is fine for me. And then in general American, probably they would say E, and they would pronounce the So they would say either, right? Either. I, the pronoun I, and the part of the body would be homophones. Yes? No?
No.
Yes. They are.
Yes? No? They are homophones? No? My question is, do they sound the same?
Yes, they sound the same.
So they're homophones, right? Homophones when they sound the same. For the production of you start very low, and then you glide towards the next sound, e, I. So when you're saying I, you should feel your tongue moving from a lower position to a higher position in your mouth. If you do the exercise, your tongue should be moving upwards towards the roof of the mouth. I. If you consciously imagine or feel what your tongue is moving, what your tongue is doing, your tongue actually is moving from a low position towards a high position, right? And a little bit forward and a little bit to the front, okay? From a central position to a front position, to a front one. Some examples that we have here are eyes, find, smile, tie, lie, die, my, style, apply, buy, guy, cry, my, like, bright, lime. Okay, all of them include the diphthong I. Okay, feel free to produce them to practice whenever you want. Okay, I. Okay, so this is the third. How do you call these? A, I, oi. These are classified as closing diphthongs, right? Closing diphthongs. These ones are closing, and these ones are also closing because they're moving upwards to closing, almost closing of the mouth. And the third closing diphthong is oi, as in the words boy or choice. Oi. So when you produce this sound, this diphthong, you glide from o, which is at the back, right? A mid-back vowel sound, Oi, oi, oi. If you do it in slow motion, you actually can, or you would be able to perceive your tongue moving from the back towards the front. Not exactly the front, you're not going to E, right? But you're going to this area, from this area of the mouth, right? Oi, boy, oi, boy, all right? So it's good to produce a sound because you get used to the pronunciation of the sound, but also because when you have to explain with technical terms how this sound is produced, this diphthong is produced, you are actually not going to rely on your memory. Sorry, I'm supposed to be okay. But also on your muscle memory, right? On or physiological memory, what your organs are doing. Some examples that you can in which you can find the diphthong oi are the following: oil, voice, noise, boy, toy, coin, foil, koi, oi. Okay, oi. So far we have seen 3 closing diphthongs, right? All of them have something in common. All of them go from one place and finish in this area, E. A, I, oi. A, I, oi. Okay? A, I, oi. The next 2 closing diphthongs, as you can see, this also glides from a low position to a very high position here. Remember that this short U was placed around this area, right? The diphthong is ow, ow, as down, down, and loud. Okay, down and loud. Ow, ow, ow. So you should feel your tongue moving from a low position to a higher position. Ow, ow. Okay, your tongue probably is not moving towards your teeth, but it's just going upwards. It's just rising within the oral cavity. Some examples in which we can find this diphthong are bound, house, brown, how, now, town, found, cow. Okay, ow, ow. Okay, so you start from low, central position, and the tongue glides upwards to a new position, which is high, still central. Okay, ow. And the last closing diphthong, is this one, o, o, o. In general, RP has more diphthongs than General American. Okay, General American has simplified diphthongs into monophthongs. A good example is, for example, here, in which in general, in received pronunciation, you have the diphthong ear ending with a schwa, ear, but in General American, you have e, here. Okay, so this is one of the diphthongs that are very British. The schwa at the beginning, and then u, o, no, which in General American they use no, o, not a schwa, right? So this is quite British. O. Examples here we have no, No. Interesting. Two words that sound exactly the same. Bone, foam, so, though, don't, foe, crow. Foe. Interesting word. Friend or foe. Oh, okay. Oh. It's not difficult, but it takes a while to get used to the pronunciation of a schwa. Oh. No. No. So a schwa, mid-central position, very lax, goes upwards or glides into a new sound, which is ooh, which is usually here. But you know, we're not actually the tongue is not moving exactly to where usually the sound in the individual sound is produced, which is here, but it's a little bit centralized, okay? Centralized, because the tongue tends to be very lazy. So the tongue tends to make the necessary effort to make the sound to be understood, but not to produce it exactly well articulated, okay? This is the last closing diphthong, okay? Closing diphthong. Remember, in the closing diphthongs, always the final sound, it could be I, or it could be U. In these diphthongs, this next sound is upwards. So you glide from one which is in a mid area or at the bottom of the oral cavity, and the gliding is upwards, okay, to a closing area. It could be I, as in A, I, oi, or it could be U, as in ow, or o. Okay, so 5 closing diphthongs, all right? 5 closing diphthongs. And then we have some examples, as in go, oh, slow, lone, though, oh. Okay, remember that general American usually does not have a lot of these diphthongs, mostly RP. And the centering diphthongs obviously connect that concept with center, okay, center. The centering group, or the centering diphthongs, have in common that they go to the center, and in the center area you can find the schwa here, okay? Remember the schwa is over here, okay? So we have ear, clear, dear, here, and we're, okay? Remember that this diphthong is quite omnipresent in RP, okay? Ear, clear, dear, here, and we're, okay? You can try this, all right, on your own. Clear, dear, here, and we're. Okay, I'm not saying that you have to speak like this. I'm saying that if you are used to this, you can understand people that are actually use this dialect. Okay, yeah. Some examples: career, here, near, year, peer, tier, lear. Okay, if you don't know the meaning of any of these words, dictionary. All right. And then another centering diphthong is air, air, air. So we start here, air, and we go to the center here, to a mid-central position, air. So we say air. Basically, this word is the diphthong, air, right? Air. Where, care, hair. Quite British, quite part of the received pronunciation inventory. We have air. In general American, probably you would have this as air, where, care, hair. right? So you would have a monophthong in General American, whereas in received pronunciation, probably you would find a diphthong, right? You can try it on your own. Where, care, hair. So basically, these two could be considered exactly. I know you are thinking about the word homophthongs, right? Some examples we have hair, lair, stare, care, bear, hair. Okay. Of course, in General American pronunciation, we would have differences like bear and hair. And these two words would rhyme in General American. Bear and hair, they rhyme, have the same ending, right? And they also rhyme in received pronunciation. Bear, hair, okay?
Mister,
And yes, sir, go on.
may I ask for the difference between air, that word, the last one, and before we have the air, right? The last one in this time. Hair, and air. It's how is it pronounced? I mean, here we have air, right?
Yes, I guess I'm getting the question. The first one, air, doesn't have a, which is the one in hot or high or hello. That initial consonant sound is not present in let's see, air
Air.
is yeah, and air. Well, this one, hair contains that particular, right? This
Oh,
exactly. So I guess the pronunciation of the initial sound, hair, as in hello, would be the difference.
all right. Thank you.
No problem. Anytime. Good question. Thank you. And finally, the last closing diphthong. Remember, I'm sorry. Finally, the last centering diphthong, centering because they are gliding towards the center of the oral cavity, is ua. This is uh, quite interesting, but difficult to hear. In terms of not many speakers now are using this. Um, let me give you an example. Sorry, let me. Okay, I'm sorry. These are the things that happened while you are having a class from home. All right, that sometimes you have to solve issues that happen at home. Okay,
No, don't you
so
worry
we
about it.
have. Thank you so much for understanding. So we have a tour and poor and tour. Probably have you heard these words in a different with a different pronunciation with a different accent? Probably you've heard tour and poor, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I personally, I personally don't feel comfortable saying tour and poor. Okay, I guess we all say tour and poor, but there are some speakers who use this diphthong, and it's good to know, right? It's good to know. I'm not saying you have to say this word as tour and poor. All right, careful with that. Use it accent, okay? But it's good to know is present here for some speakers, tour and poor. Okay. That was the last centering diphthongs, and we have some examples here. Sure, lure, pure, manure, and cure. Again, I'm emphasizing that some people some speakers would pronounce these words differently, but since we're practicing this centering diphthong, sure, lure, pure, manure, and cure. Those would be the options for this centering diphthong. Okay, so going back to this vowel quadrilateral, we have a, I, and oi. These three closing diphthongs end in the same vowel sound, I. So they glide from one initial sound, a, and o, and then end up in the same I sound. The three of them going upwards to this area, the area where the short legs E is produced. The other, we have ear and ua, right? Those two would be examples of an air, right? Those three would be examples of centering diphthong, right? Centering. And what do they have in common? The three of them end in a schwa. Where can you find the schwa? In a mid-central position in the oral cavity. Okay? So remember always remember that the schwa is at the mid-center area here, and that's why these three vowel sound, three diphthongs, I'm sorry, are called centering diphthongs. And we have o and ow. The last closing diphthongs, they are going to or gliding towards the same final sound, which is u, that you can find. Gosh, the mouse pad is not helping me today. That you can find in the upper or in the high back section here, right here. Okay. Okay, so here we have closing diphthongs, centering diphthongs. Whenever you think about centering diphthongs, always remember the schwa, which is in a mid-central position. Remember how many centering diphthongs do you remember? Good question, right? How many centering diphthongs have we seen today? Have we studied? Have we learned?
3.
3. Which ones are they?
Yeah, I don't know how to.
You said, sorry, go on.
Yeah, like in clear.
Okay. E with the schwa, right? Yeah, okay. What's the other?
The second one is air, like in where.
Okay, air as in where.
The third one is ua. No, I don't know how to say this. Ua.
Mm-hmm. As in poor, right?
Yes.
All right, wonderful. Very good job. And closing diphthongs. How many closing diphthongs do you remember?
5.
5, right? Do you remember some of them?
The first one, A,
A, all right, as in
as in late.
exactly. Any other?
I, like in my or I.
I as in my or I. Okay. Any other?
The oi,
Boy,
as in
as
boy.
in boy, all right. And you said five closing diphthongs.
Yes.
Okay, so there are two missing.
Au, as in down.
Ow as in brown, all right. And
Eu,
okay.
I don't know how to say that.
I don't know. Anybody can help? Anybody can join?
It's with the schwa sound.
Okay, sure. And a final oo. And an example of this one.
So,
Can you give an example of for this one? Yes
Go.
or no?
so,
Go.
Go. Good. Good. Go. Okay. Please don't do the same as I did here. Whenever you are, for example, transcribing using a pencil, right, and transcribing the vowel sounds here, using the phonemic symbols, always make it very clear the difference between, for example, ow and the second one, o. I'm saying specifically, always make very clear the difference whenever you are using a symbol between that one, which is an a, and this one, which is a schwa. Okay. For this, for me at least, it's more complex when I'm trying to use the mouse, and trying to draw the symbols. But remember, they are quite different. Okay, and they should look different. Okay. We have more examples here. A as in take, I as in buy, O as in boy, ear as in fear, air as in care, O as in go, U as in poor, and ow as in cow. Okay. Another good way is to remember a couple of words. If you remember these words, maybe you can remember which are which the diphthongs are. Okay. A good way also is to try to create a sentence using a take and buy, boy, using the words for you to remember the diphthongs. Okay. We have more examples here. We have fear, here, beer, here, clear, and dear. Which is a diphthong we should put at the beginning? Which is a diphthong that we should include in the second? Ear, all right. E and a schwa? Like that? Okay. What type of diphthong is this one? Closing, centering, any other?
Centering.
Centering diphthong, exactly. What about the second column? Which diphthong should we include here?
The schwa with the U.
Schwa with the U, all right, wonderful. What about the second one? Come on, guys.
The A with the
Ow.
Okay. The A with the short U. What about the next one?
I.
I, okay. The next one?
A.
A, all right. Next one. Next one.
The air with the schwa, maybe?
Air with the schwa.
All right, you
Air.
got it. Perfect. Next one.
The U with the schwa.
Who-
Excellent. And finally,
Oi.
The O, oi.
Oi.
excellent. Oi. Okay. I want you to do the following exercise. Are you with me? Are you listening?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. The following exercise. Remember, I showed you a power representation including several words. I think you're looking at it now. Right? Fear, here, beer, etc., etc., etc. Right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. What I want you to do is I want you to create a very short exercise as if we were designing a quiz. Okay. Imagine you are designing a quiz, and then you have a multiple choice item. So number one, and you put several words, okay, in the same item. I want you to include this, the what is called the odd one, the one that does not belong to the category. Okay, so you write, for example, number one. Let me use a highlighter. Number one. Which is the one that does not belong? Which is the odd one? Obviously, I, because play, cave, rain, all of them have the same diphthong, A, right? Except I, that is the odd one. Let me give you an example in the PowerPoint slide. I think it's going to look easier for you to understand and easier for me to explain myself. So number one, what were the options? Play, rain, okay, and the instruction is identify the odd one. Odd one is the strange one, the one that does not belong to the category here. Okay, so we have play. Can you see the PowerPoint presentation?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
So excellent. Let's write two examples. This one. What else? All right, so identify the odd one. Let's circle the odd one. In the first one, which one is the odd one?
I.
Perfect.
I.
I.
Excellent. In the next one, which is the odd one?
Soft.
Though.
Though.
Soft.
Though, exactly. Though. Though is the odd one. Perfect. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to create an exercise in which you have four options, at least four options, and do it in a PowerPoint presentation or do it in a Word file. And then I want to share it with the rest of us. You have 5 minutes to create at least two exercises. You have 5 minutes to create two exercises, just like I did here. Okay, this is an example of what you have to do. Okay,
Teacher,
you need to create. Yes, sir.
can you, put on the screen the previous PowerPoint with all the words and the sounds so we can help ourselves?
Sure. You mean sorry.
The
Let me
one
share
with a lot
again.
of words.
That one, right?
Yeah, that one, please.
Okay.
Okay,
Sorry.
thanks.
There. All right. There you are. So take 3 to 5 minutes and design a short exercise in which you have 4 options, and one of them does not belong to the category. One of them is the odd one. Okay. In 3 minutes, we can start sharing. All right. I'm going to be here.
Excuse me, mister. How many exercises?
2 is fine. If you can do more,
Alright.
even better. But
I'm almost ready.
wonderful, wonderful. Alrighty, so who's ready to share the exercise? Anybody? Any volunteers?
I can share my presentation.
Who's I? Francisco.
Yes.
Okay, Francisco, go ahead.
Okay.
So you can explain the exercise to us, all right?
Okay.
So now you are the instructor, right? You are the teacher. You explain us what to do. You explain everyone in the session what to do.
Can you see? Yes. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So the exercise that we have to do is identify the different sound, and I've made 3 exercises, in which there is one word which doesn't belong to that line. Should I say it out loud, or maybe if someone already knows the answer?
You're the teacher. You decide.
Well, and the first one here we have hear, made, obey, and pay. I don't know if anyone has already find which is the different sound. Well, this
The first
okay,
one.
go.
Yeah.
The first one?
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. It's the first one. So we're going to highlight maybe with yellow.
Here, made,
Okay. Yeah.
we are.
Very good. Well done. In the second one, we have home, crow, bone, loud. Also, as the previous one, there is one sound that it doesn't belong to the others. One that it's different.
The last one, loud.
Yeah, the last one. Yeah, you're correct. Last one is the different sound because you have O and you know. So home, crow, bone, and loud. The last one we have there, where, either, air.
The third
This
one.
is, yeah,
Either.
this one was easier than the other ones. Well, that's all. I have to give my leadership to another one.
Exactly. You choose. Very well done. Very well done, Francisco. Choose someone, please. Do you have any volunteer, by the way?
Sorry, I left by accident. I didn't know what you said.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
Anyone else? Anyone else would like to volunteer? Okay, this is what we're going to do. Next session, which is on Monday, right? Next Monday, you will have as homework to design an exercise in which you have minimal pairs. Sorry, minimal pairs in which you have diphthongs. Okay, you can have you can design an exercise including multiple choice, or it could be true, false, or maybe you can have a sentence in which you have two words, and one of them belongs to the sentence according to the context, and then probably we can focus later on the sound. But I guess a multiple choice exercise like this, like the one that was shown and developed by Francisco, that would be wonderful for next session. Okay, so you will design, this is a homework, remember, you will design a multiple choice including at least 5 different exercises. Okay, if you want to do something different, go ahead. Something different, like not just a multiple choice item, but a true or false item, or fill in the blank. For example, you can leave a blank, and then you can have several options with the right diphthong. Okay, so let your imagination fly, and see what kind of items you can surprise us with next session. Okay, so I'll meet with you next Monday. Remember, there is a speaking quiz. There's a speaking task in the LMS. If you go to the LMS, you will see the instructions. Basically, you need to read aloud a text that's in the Word file, and you need to read it for 1 minute and 30 seconds. You do not need to read the whole text, but you need to read it for 1 minute and 30 seconds. If you stop in the middle or almost at the end, that's totally fine. But make sure that you read for 1 minute and 30 seconds, and then you upload the task to the LMS. Okay?
Okay.
In the LMS, you will find the text in a Word file, and you will find the rubric, which will focus on 3 aspects. How well you are pronouncing long vowel sounds, how well you're pronouncing short vowel sounds, and fluency. Those are the 3 aspects that are going to be assessed for your speaking quiz. Only vowel sounds. I'm not going to pay attention to consonant sounds because we haven't covered them yet. So only vowel sounds, short and long, and fluency. So make sure you practice before you upload the task to the LMS. Okay. Make sure it's an MP3 file, because MP3 is lighter, and I can open it from any device. If there are no further questions, let's continue. Any questions, shoot me an email or write a message through Teams.
Professor,
I'm listening. Javiera.
Yes, it's me.
Okay.
Did you upload the vowel chart we must learn?
There are, let me see if I can show you the PowerPoint presentation. The one that we're going to be using is this one, which is the presentation, the PowerPoint presentation that we have been using for most of the classes. Are you looking at it?
Yeah. That the one that we have in the LMS, it appears another chart.
Okay, I think I already changed that presentation, but if not, I'm going to go and change the presentation to replace it with this one. But this is the one that we're going to be using, okay? The one including the 12 vowel sounds in this position. I mean, in order not to create a confusion, because some other vowel charts vary in relation to the different dialect, but this is the one that we're going to be using. Not, I insist, I'm not saying that this is a final vowel chart that everyone should memorize. I'm saying that this is the one that we're going to be using for evaluation purposes. But we need to understand that sometimes other dialects may have, in terms of position of the vowel sounds in the chart, a different area, okay? So I'm going to make sure that you have this one, the same presentation in the LMS, so you can take it as an example to study, all right?
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Thank you. Any further questions, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes. Will you upload the PPT of today?
Sure. Well, it's basically the same one that we have been using. I'm going to upload the recording anyway. If you go at the bottom of the LMS, you will see a link that says something link to videos. If you click on link to videos, that will take you to a YouTube channel, and I'm uploading the sessions in that channel. So you can also take a look at the sessions there. Okay, in the LMS at the bottom. Yes, fotografía del idioma inglés, sección 2. At the bottom, you see this link to videos, and gentlemen, there's someone in the chat. Do we have to read the whole text, Gabriela Gatica? You have to read for 1 minute and 30 seconds, regardless if you finish or not the test. I mean, sorry, the task. Okay. 1 minute and 30 seconds. Stop. You save it. You save the file using the instructions that are in the LMS, meaning you have to write, PIN227, section 2, your name and last name. In your case, PIN227, section 2, Gabriela Gatica, _ speaking task 1. And then you upload it to the LMS. So don't worry if you do not finish the reading the task, because you're not required to finish reading, but only to read for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Okay, Gabriela? Any other questions? All right. If any questions come up to your minds, shoot me an email or send a message through the Teams. All right?
Yes.
All righty.
Yes. Right.
All right. All righty. So I'll see you on Monday. Have a good. Remember, please do remember the speaking task, okay? Because there's a date there.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, teacher.
So I'll see you Monday.
Thank you. Bye
See you.
bye.
Take care.
Have a
Take
nice
care.
day.
Goodbye.
See you, Mr.
You too. Thank you. See ya.